We all enjoy watching F1 races, don't we? The drivers are exceptionally talented in their arena. They have chosen a career that doesn't need them to be highly qualified academically. However, you must be curious whether your favorite F1 racers have completed their graduation and, if yes, from which college. This video will provide you with all the information about the racers, so don't skip the video. Watch it fully and do let us know in the comments below that you were shocked by which of the following facts. Without further ado, let's get started. Max Verstappen. So, starting with Verstappen, he is known to be one of the best racers and has won numerous events. Maximilian Verstappen is a Belgian-Dutch racing driver and the 2021 Formula 1 World Champion. He strives under the Dutch flag in Formula 1 with Red Bull Racing. He is the son of retired Formula 1 driver Jos Verstappen. He saw the face of the earth on the 30th of September 1997 in Hasselt, Belgium, to Jos Verstappen and Sophie Koopman, and has a smaller sister, Victoria. Verstappen's parents detached when he was a minor, after which he dwelled with his father while his sister Victoria resided with their mother. Verstappen has three younger half-siblings from his dad, a sister Blue Jay from his additional alliance, and a brother and a sister Jason Jacks and Mila Fey from his recent nuptials. His household has an extended union with motorsports. His papa is a Dutch retired Formula 1 driver and his Belgian mama contended in karting. He vied in Formula 1 for more than a season before attaining a road driving license on his 18th birthday. Verstappen shifted to Monaco the day after in October 2015 and has stayed there since. Max Verstappen never deemed school during his teenage years as an obstacle to racing, the Dutchman playing hooky or restricting his existence in the classroom thanks to a limited clever tactic. The 22-year-old Red Bull driver was born to race, gaining a victory in karting from the beginning, surging through the levels to evolve into a fully fledged Grand Prix driver at only 17. While school was a necessary task, it necessarily wasn't an entertainment that the 8-time Grand Prix champion was fond of. Quite the opposite. Jolyon Palmer. Jolyon Palmer is a British motorsport announcer and correspondent, wrapping the Formula 1 World Championship on BBC Radio 5 and the official F1 app. Prior to his media employment, Palmer was a racing driver and the 2014 GP2 Series champion. Palmer used to drive for Renault Sport F1 team in Formula 1. He gave rise to his Formula 1 debut with the squad at the onset of the 2016 season, during which he scored his first World Championship questions at the Malaysian Grand Prix. Palmer kept up with Renault for 2017 through to the Japanese Grand Prix. Palmer is the son of retired F1 driver and important UK racecourse owner Jonathan Palmer. His younger brother Will won the 2015 British BRDC Formula 4 Championship and the prestigious 2015 McLaren Autosport BRDC Award. Palmer is a backer of Ipswich Town FC and Crystal Palace FC. Palmer was tutored at Dorset House School before attending Cranleigh School and the University of Nottingham, where he received a bachelor's degree in management studies in 2012. He is the son of Formula 1 driver and prominent UK racetrack owner Jonathan Palmer. Jonathan Palmer. Jonathan Charles Palmer is a British businessman and retired Formula 1 racing driver. He is presently the preponderance shareholder and chief executive of Motorsport Vision, a corporation that operates 6 UK motorsport circuits, the Palmer Sport Corporate Maneuvering Exhibition at Bedford Autodrome, and various racing championships encompassing British Superbikes and BRDC British F3. Before his career vitality, Palmer was enthusiastic in Formula 1 between 1983 and 1989 and drove for Tyrrell, Williams, Ram, and Zaxbyt. He gained a victory in 14 championship junctures from 83 starts. He also competed in a Group C Porsche in sports car tournaments between 1983 and 1990, achieving the 1984 1,000 kilometers of Brands Hatch with co-driver Jan Lammers and taking the second position at the 1985 24 Hours of Le Mans with co-drivers James Weaver and Richard Lloyd. Palmer assisted in expanding the McLaren F1 road car and drove one to a recent speed record for creating cars. Palmer's two sons have both had prosperous motor racing careers. Jolyon Palmer, the 2014 GP2 Series champion, drove for the Renault Sport F1 team during the 2016 and 2017 seasons and is presently a newscaster and reporter for BBC Sport F1. Jonathan's inexperienced experienced son Will Palmer won the BRDC F4 Championship and the prestigious McLaren Autosport BRDC Award in 2015 and finished second in the Renault Euro Cup in 2017. Palmer furthermore has two daughters, Emily, an accountant, and Alice, an experienced equestrian show jumper. Palmer took the plunge with Emma Collins in 2018, having been separated from his initial wife Gil in 2011. Before opting for a career in motor racing, Palmer was educated as a physician at London's Guy's Hospital. He also acted as a junior physician at Cookfield and Brighton hospitals. Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton is one of the greatly popular F1 drivers and has gained victory in various well-known ownership during his vocation. This Mercedes driver commenced racing at a youthful age, drove go-karts, and progressed from there. Around the years, he acknowledged that new drivers were not that informed. The discovery he put together was that several of the kids he drove with prepared sprinting as the only hope they possessed. As a result, he wished to change the policy, and nowadays he's striving to swirl the boat from the interior. Hamilton is attempting to establish educational policies that assist young drivers in remaining academically athletic and, at the equivalent time, enhance their driving abilities. His academic scholarly attainments accompany the Cambridge College of Arts and Sciences. He selected this procedure because it gave him more time to concentrate on his ambition of F1 racing. Nico Rosberg. Nico Rosberg is a fine representation of an F1 driver who earned it to the top through academic strategies requested of him. Ever since he was fresh, Rosberg was seeking strategies that would settle him in a much more reasonable position to be an incredible driver. He was part of numerous racing programs, and Rosberg bettered, striding up the levels to come to be a full-time F1 driver. Apart from the racing proposals he was a portion of, the world-renowned driver was given a chance to research aeronautical engineering in London at the Imperial College. He achieved high marks in this course, giving rise to him being one of the most literate F1 drivers in history. That accolade was just one of the aspects that made this youthful, bright driver sparkle. Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo is one of the Italian-Australian racers that has created his fans proud through outstanding performance on the trail. He drew insight from his dad, who was entangled in motorsports, and uncovered him to the racing world at a minor age. This driver did not concentrate only on driving, but rather he maintained education for himself. Ricciardo went to Newman College and then commenced accompanying several driving programs that earned him the great driver that he is today. A proportional impression of racing and enticing academic passions was a reasonable option for Ricciardo because it enabled him to ascertain a defense net. That gave him choices just in the circumstances. He did not put together the F1 racing cut. Jenson Button. Jenson Button is an F1 driver that was part of the McLaren Young Driver program that has been constructed to help drivers soar in hierarchies. This program has facilitated many drivers, just like it did for Button, with chances to overcome the F1 driving scene. The McLaren Young Driver program encouraged drivers such as Lewis Hamilton to be on the center scene as well. That is why Button was fascinated to be a fraction of this strategy when he was asked to enroll in the academy. Part of the tasks he learned, apart from navigating procedures, comprise substantial existence abilities for drivers. Those, moreover, pertain to physical activity and nutritional strategies to stay aware and creative at all moments. To be exact, Button was furnished with the abilities to make it in the experienced F1 driving world. He utilized his proficiency for contractual advice, civil approvals, and even allocation to upscale his livelihood. Certainly, this proposal is the fast road to F1 success amongst youngsters. Sir Stirling Moss. Sir Stirling Moss did not enlist in Formula One racing and was a graduate. Born in 1929 in London, UK, he developed into one of the most extensively outstanding Formula One drivers in the British world and beyond. Although Moss never gained any world championship title, he gave rise to a big distinction back home by earning over 200 times in his whole racing life. His star didn't just glow in the car racing world, but also in academics. He was a competent theater teacher from Sunderland College of Education. In early 2000, the same university rewarded him with an honorary doctorate of technology. In April 2020, the Fora headlines were replenished with the unhappy news that Sir Stirling Moss had departed. He will continue to be a legend in the Formula One racing world. Regardless of what passion you are enticing, it is very crucial to have extra than one option accessible to you. It requests a safety net that you can drop back on when stuff does not work out as rapidly as you've wanted. At the same time, when you get injured or retire, it will be beneficial to retain something to do.